Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Tuesday, guys. Want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well this season. I got a word for you. Tap in. Happy Tuesday, guys. So as promised, here is the recording. Well, in my last recording, I stated that I would be making this recording on signs that may indicate, all caps, may indicate that your season is about to shift. Again, many chosen people are in a season where some of you guys are already physically walking into your manifestations from God. You're in alignment to receive it. Some of you guys are you still feel stagnant right now, but spiritually you're excited. You can feel that breakthrough is literally any day, literally. So here are some signs that you may start to notice. Again, many chosen people right now are in isolation or just in a place of stillness. Many of us don't have to, again, not everybody, we don't really have directions to put our hands and stuff right now. It's more so less that we're getting a lot of downloads and insights and wisdom from the spiritual realm. So here's a few signs. You are finally at a place of, all caps, full surrender. Full surrender. At this point, you know that your way is just not working any longer. And you're at a point of, you know what, Lord, if it's not from you, I don't want it, period. Like we would say that in the past. We would say things like, God, if something's not from me, just take it from me. And then when God snatches it, like you're losing your mind and you're fighting like a wild cat to get it back. But finally, you mean this like with your whole chest. If it ain't from you, I don't want it. If you don't want me to have it, please, right? Because obviously, right? I don't know what I'm doing over here, right? So you're at a place of full surrender. Next, you will discover that you have a lack of patience for foolishness. Now, mind you, typically, right, we can deal with, well, it depends on what kind of foolishness, right? But we can tolerate people. We just been gifted to just kind of, people just, they feel safe with us. They feel like we have all these healing energy, just come and lie in my bosom, that type of feel that people get from us. So a lot of the times we typically are more empathetic and patient and loving and trying to help, even though they're ungrateful. But honey, we are at a place where we don't have any patience for foolishness. Like you will, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. There's a grace that's going around and we just don't have time for foolishness. We're too focused right now. We're too tunnel vision right now. Next, you will feel a disconnect from the old. Again, that can look like people, places, or things. But the old, the last seasons, the seasons prior to now, you're starting to feel a disconnect. This can even be from your own home. These are signs that, well, I'm getting ahead of myself, but you can have a disconnect from your home, from the environment that you're currently in, around the people that you were once very fond of, maybe even certain ministries, because maybe God is calling you elsewhere, but you'll start to feel a disconnect from it. And you guys know that's typically not us, right? Because when we're in it, we're in it. So once we start to feel, and truth is, there's been times in prior seasons where we felt disconnected to things, but our loyalty, chosen ones, our loyalty kept us there. But now we feel this disconnect and loyalty can't even keep us there. We're just waiting for the door to open. Because like at this point, the loyalty that we give is the loyalty that we know we receive. The loyalty that we give is the loyalty that we know we deserve. So now there's no bargaining back and forth. We're trying to force people to understand the importance of honor and respect. Child, nobody got time for that foolishness, right? Nobody got time for that foolishness. So there is a disconnect from the old things, people, places, or things. Next, God is convicting you about certain character issues, right? And these don't necessarily have to be sins. Of course, sin, you're definitely getting convicted, but more character things. This can look like things that you maybe make excuses for, or you may say it like, well, I mean, I've always been that way, or I can't help it because this, that, and third. It's almost like he's causing you to really look at certain areas and certain character or certain mindsets or certain ways, and you can no longer make an excuse. He's convicting you to go to therapy. He's convicting you to do just whatever, to work on yourself, because whatever it is, honey, it cannot go. It cannot go into next season. Next season is major. Next season is where you will be walking with elites. Next season for many people is major. Seriously, major. These are kingdom grand blessings for the end times. Next, strategic relationships and connections. Strategic relationships and partnerships and connections. It's like you will encounter and meet people all around the world. It's not even like you're going out your door and meeting a person at the gas station. No. You're like, he strategically aligns it. It can be through social media. It could be, but it's very strategic. And these individuals are literally in alignment with your purpose and your calling. You guys are aiming for the same goals, dreams, purpose, calling. It's somehow aligned. He is creating your team and your soul tribe. This is also why you will start to feel a disconnect from some of the people who have been in your past seasons, because they're just not in alignment anymore. We have to get to the point where we understand that seasons changes. Everybody can't go with us. That's something that the chosen ones sometimes struggle with, again, because of our loyalty. So we feel like we can't leave this person behind, or this, that, and the third. But truth of the matter is, have they put the work in? Have they put the work in? Okay, so if people are in alignment with your purpose and your calling, then you will find these ones going with you. But then a lot have dropped off, and you have to be okay with that. These hearts of ours, this loyalty mindset of ours, it's a beautiful thing, but we have to know how to operate and manage it in certain seasons, because we're going to hold ourselves back. Next, detachment. You've learned, well, yeah, detachment, right? This can even look like certain visions that maybe you had, or like the vision is, the promise is, but you probably saw it a certain way. Like you would take this person would have this role in it. You would do it this way, or just whatever. But the law of detachment, even detach from the promise itself. You're not trying to control it any longer. Again, you're at a place of surrender, and you truly have mastered the art of detachment, where nothing can hold you back. That can look like if God says, pack it up tomorrow, get on the plane, private jet me please. That's right, honey. I'm claiming big, period. Get on the plane, get on the Why do you guys email me? A good brother. And he's like, he just loves my personality, honey. I go from serious, right? Serious to almost intimidating to just being a straight clown, and just, honey, I'm a ball of fun, truly. But detachment means if God comes to you tomorrow and say, pack it up. Let's go, right? I'm shifting you here. Pack it up, this, that, and the third. Honey, you have no detachments to anything. To the home that he blessed you with 5 years ago, to the this, that, and the third. Honey, you are detached from things when he comes back to say, we're going here, we're doing this, like, let's ride. Let's ride. I just want to be where you are, because that's where the blessings are, right? Because if I remain somewhere and you're not there, the fruit is not going to be there. The fruit is going to be where he's calling you from. But again, we got to let go of detachment to things. And sometimes those are also trauma responses, right? If you're used to being in survivor mode, anything that you have, you kind of latch onto it. You have to control the narrative. That's a part of trauma, a trauma response at times too. Next, honey, whoo, this is me times 10. There is a heavy need and conviction to purge and get rid of things that no longer serve you. Sis, You've been divorced for 75 years. The man have remarried. He got 5 new kids. You say you no longer love him and you're waiting on your husband. Please get that wedding dress out of the closet. It got dust on it. It may have some milk. Honey, get rid of that. Child. Bro, you claim, right? She broke your little heart and you claim that she no longer have control of your life. She don't control my life no more, but you're afraid to move on. You're afraid to love again. You're all guarded. You're all protected. Nobody can get in because you're all walled up because nobody's going to ever hurt you again. And this, that, third. Right. But she don't have control over your life. I beg to differ. But the point I'm making here is there is a need to purge. These are things, again, that no longer serve you. It just doesn't have to be that. It can be things like things that you had a vision of. For example, y'all, when I be talking, I promise you guys, visions of things pop up in my head, especially when I'm talking about narcissists and those flying monkeys. Honey, I just see monkeys flying all around my head. But right now, I see somebody with a garage full of stuff. It can be candles, like you had this vision, right? Rightfully so, that you're going to start like a candle line, a perfume line, something, honey. But the garage is filled with bottles and bottles and bottles of things, right? Right. Okay, so you may have, it could have been a familiar spirit, right? It could have been a distraction. Remember, familiar spirits also come as distractions. So they'll have you start something that we think is good or something that we think God says, and then we're giving all of our time to that thing, and then we are completely out of alignment with the things that God really need us to be doing. We should be in counseling, we should be in therapy, we should be doing this, we should be in nature, we should be doing this, that, and the third. We over here filling bottles bottles of candle lines and all this. Okay, so you've heard from God. And God says, well, that was cute, right? Job well done. Bless somebody with it or sell it or whatever. But get rid of it. It's taking up space. Bro, that car have been sitting in the garage since 1985. You said you were going to get new tires on it. Sir, please move the car, get rid of it so you can make space for her. Right? But I say all that to say that sometimes, I'm just having fun, guys, but sometimes when you feel a very heavy need to purge and and the thing about it is, these aren't things that would bother you before. Like it's almost like you could look at it, you didn't even think about the stuff, but now it irritates you. It irritates you to have things around you that are no longer serving you, or that season of it is over. All you want is space. That is one clear indication, or can be an indication, that God is bringing something new. That is something that aligns in the physical, that somehow give you an indication in the spiritual. He's purging things and people to make room for the new. That can look like new coming to where you are and you have space for it. Or that can look like he's taking you somewhere else, but you won't be lagging and logging 1,000 garbage bags behind you. You can't take that stuff to the next season. God. Next, discipline. There's a grace. Well, I won't say it's easy, but it's more easy than usual to be more disciplined now. In whatever way that is for you. Just discipline. You find a grace and you find convictions that can look like fasting, that can look like working out, eating clean, semen retention. That is a thing, ladies, right? For guys, I think. For guys. Maybe guys and girls. I don't even know. But more discipline. Next. You feel an excitement in your spirit. Where last season you may have felt like seasonal depression or depression, or like a heaviness, or even some discouragement, things like that, where now your spirit, there's excitement. You feel like new is coming. You feel like more is coming. You feel spiritually like, oh, it's finally my time. Even if nothing in the physical looks like it, your spirit is excited. He's hyping you up. He's hyping you up. Get ready, get ready, get ready, right? Next, your current level is drying up, whatever that is. Job, you don't even, honey, you used to love that job. You used to love going to work. Honey, now when that alarm go off, you just like, oh my God, right? But certain things are drying up. Again, people, places, and things. But whatever your current level is, he's still requiring you to move with the spirit of excellence, right? You still have to do it accordingly and do it right. But you don't even like it anymore. You don't even like it anymore, right? You don't even like them anymore. But you got to do it, and you got to do it right until he comes in up that gate and say, all right, you're free to go. Next, there's a grace to forgive, but, well, I'll just say forgive. But for me, honey, it's going to be forgive and release. Forgive and release, not forgive and re-enter. Absolutely not. Forgive, release, move forward. Now, that's just me. For others, it may just be full forgiveness and re-enter. I'm, Next, conviction. Oh, absolutely. Conviction to study and learn. We are in spiritual college right now for many of us, because we know every level requires new learning and new teaching. But it's like you're hungry for the material. So whoever that prophetic voice that you're currently logged into and tapped into, because it's like a wave almost, like it's like you're riding a certain wave into the next shift. But this prophetic voice is, in tune completely with this next shift, right? But it's like you want to listen to this person all the time. You want to learn. You're writing your notes, honey, like you're journaling, like you're really studying. You're shutting down your plans because you gotta study, the laws of wealth, the laws of abundance, this, that, and the third. Like you gotta study, but you're eager, you want more, you're really, really tapped in, you're getting out in nature more, your downloads are massive, so you just want more. So you're studying and you're learning, and job well done. Next, conviction to plant a seed in whatever the next level is. That can look like financial seeds. That can look like your time, right? You may be called to just go there and just walk the land. But there's some kind of conviction to somehow plant within that particular territory. That can look like going to serve the homeless over there. You haven't been released there per se physically yet, but there's some kind of conviction to keep planting in that particular soil. Next, your type have changed. Not so much. Okay, how can I explain this? Because I know some people are stuck on types. That's not really me. I like more never mind. But let's say I'm going to pick on one of my good bros. Let's say you have a type, right? Most men are very visual, but you have a type, honey, and she got to be a dime piece. She got to be thick. She got to be slim thick. She got to be slim, whatever your type is, but she has to be beautiful. And you were locked on that, like for all your life. Like you felt like, listen, whoever I marry, honey, she's going to be a dime piece, point blank period. And now, because you're really tapped into purpose and calling, now, you don't even really care about like that. I know men are visual, so you will care, but not like that. You're more tapped in now to a woman who have intellect, who knows God. She can really back your vision. She can move some things up in that spiritual realm. Like that's what you're more focused on now. Where before it is just like she only had to be fine. That was it. That was it. She only had to be fine. So now it's changing for my good sis. Let me just tell you guys, as a chosen woman, listen. Sis, hear me and hear me well, honey. Please. Well, you guys know because you're chosen. I don't care how many men are after you. I really don't care, right? I don't care how many men are after you. I don't care how many men are trying to lock you down because they don't want somebody. You got to have a certain kind of man. And this is for my brothers too, but I gotta press into my sisters really quickly. You gotta have a certain what a Satan used to pay. Not that my brothers have to have a certain kind of man. You guys get what I'm saying. There's a certain kind of person for a chosen one. But for my sis, you gotta have a certain kind of man. You can't just have any random man because he's giving you word game and he's telling you you're fine and you're this, that. Nobody care about none of that nonsense. Nobody care about any of that foolishness. Nobody cares nothing about no looks. That stuff is nobody cares nothing about that, sir. The kind of man you are going to have as a chosen woman, a woman who is moving in purpose and calling. Now, granted, many times God will merge it. Like he'll merge it where your visions and like it comes together and you guys like travel the world together and you're doing this, that, and the third. He may be on the stage he may be a pastor or a preacher or just a motivational speaker. You may be in the same place doing missionary work, things like that. So he may merge it, but if he doesn't, right, or if it's too soon for that, you got to have a certain kind of man who can hear you. You can't, as a chosen woman, you can never, ever, 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 ever deal with a man who shuts you down. Ever. If he shuts you down, he's shutting down your vision. And God does not listen. You got to have a certain kind of man who is confident, because if you're a chosen woman, men are going to be after you. Period. And this has nothing to do with looks, none of that. It has to do with energy and the way people receive you. People are going to be attracted to you naturally. For one, you're confident. As a chosen woman, you're confident, but people vibes off of your energy. If you have a man who is jealous and insecure because it's not going to work. It's just not going to work. It's not going to work. You got to have a confident man, a man who can receive you, hear you, right? Now, of course, he can give you insights and even, what do you call it when somebody take and package something a certain kind of way? Take it in, but he has to hear you. This man may not look exactly like how you want him. This man may not be a millionaire or whatever is on your list. He doesn't even have to be perfect. He don't even have to be churchy, holy, honey, with Stacey Adams and Slippery Lord. He just got to know the Lord. He just got to know the Lord. Because if he knows the Lord, God will show him how to handle you. So when you acting a fool for whatever reason, right, he'll know how to handle you. So the mindset of wanting a man because you just want a man, let it be just out of your own desire, which nothing wrong with that, because maybe society says it. Well, society is saying otherwise now, but society is saying this, or just because maybe you just want it. Okay, but wonderful. But in these times, in this end time shift in purpose and calling, like that supernatural stuff, not supernatural, what's the word? Superficial stuff, that stuff, it's just not gonna work. It's just not gonna work. It's just not gonna work in this season. It's just not gonna work. He's fine, but honey, she's fine, she ain't got bird brains. It's just not gonna work. It's just not gonna work. It has to be a God-ordained connection, marriage, or partner. Everybody's not called to marriage, or partnership, where you guys are locked in and you guys are doing kingdom things together. And that doesn't mean church. Kingdom missions together. I don't know why I had to sit there for a second. Next. I only have two more actually. I think I kind of alluded to this earlier, but a conviction to get more healthy, eat more clean, work out more. It's something correlated in the spiritual realm that when you're truly tapped in to nature, walking, working out, and removing all these toxins from your body, it's like we receive things more clearly. I can't even explain it, but it's true. Like when if I'm not on my game and I'm just having too much fun and just, I feel like spiritually clogged almost. But once I get back and I'm eating more clean, more whole foods, things like that, working out, it's like things come to me more clear. I can't explain it, but I'm sure you guys know. And lastly, you must, all caps, must have a teachable spirit. This right here is going to mess a lot of people up. Not you guys, but in general, a lot of people up. It almost messed me up in the past, but I tell you, I'm a quick learner, honey, because once God's like, I felt that person start kind of like moving to the side because I wasn't teachable, honey, I got right real quick. I don't care how much you know. And see, this can be challenging for some chosen people because people think we're so wise. We typically are probably the one that everybody comes to in our circle. So if you're not careful, that can really cap you off to thinking that you know everything. We don't know nothing, honey. We don't know nothing. And the higher you go, you learn. We don't know nothing because we keep learning more and more. And then when you get to a certain ceiling, you realize that there's more. There's another level, right? So you must be teachable. There's somebody that I'm assisting right now, kind of mentoring. She's a destiny helper, but she's at the foundation. Like God is just kind of, there's a lot she has to learn. But when I say teachable, I mean respectful, hungry to learn. She's like, Kizzy, I know you've already been through this because I've seen you do this, that, and the third. So anything I tell her, even if it's something that may sting, even though it's in love, sometimes we know that stuff still stings us. Right? Because it's still iron sharpening iron. I'm like, girl, if God calls me to try to help you 24 hours a day, I will do it. There is something about a person who's a teachable spirit. But when you got a person fighting against you and you're trying to help them, honey, you will mess around and miss a whole entire shift. Because the person don't look like you, or the person may be the opposite sex of you, or the person or you just think you got it all figured out. And honey, you ain't got a pot to piss in, but in the window to throw it out, honey, but you don't want to listen to anybody. Make it make sense. Guys, you guys have a great one. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.